Howdy, 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 my beautiful Capricorn. How are you doing today, darling? Let's get into your weekly tarot reading, Capricorn, and see what your tarot horoscope is looking like today, all right? So if you enjoy this tarot reading, Capricorn, let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out the top right-hand corner of your screen for the link to the monthly pick-a-card reading for September. All right, Capricorn? So with all that being said, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you enjoy. And let's begin, darling. All right, see what's happening for you here. Starting out with the Two of Swords coming in for you. Now, the thing about it is, Capricorn, I feel like this is something that you have manifested. I feel like this is something that you have wanted to have happen, but it's not something that you quite were sure how it was going to look like. If you've been manifesting or praying for a change, Capricorn, this is where the change that can happen. Your prayer is being answered is the immediate thing when I hear and hold this Two of Swords here. It's like your prayer is being answered. And so it's like, see this Two of Swords as like a crossroads, Capricorn, where it's like your path is just going this one way, but then a new path is starting to open up where you can really, if you choose to make that decision, Capricorn, in going this new route, it can drastically change things. The change that you have been asking for. For some of you, it might be socially, Capricorn. For others of you, it might be something in your career. So let's start expounding on this a little bit more, darling. See what we can be getting. What's the first path look like for you? 10 of Pentacles, 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Cups. So financially, it seems to be the game for you. All right. That seems to be the focus, Capricorn. Temperance energy. It feels like you have been patient for way too long. That's something that you might even be saying to yourself, Capricorn, where it's just like, all right, darling, when is it my turn? When can I finally start catching up on the bills that I need to pay? When is it my turn to reap in or to lavish in all this abundance that everyone always talks about? Right. I feel like you have been, this is not like like other people might see this from a cynical point of view, Capricorn, and be like, oh, Capricorn, you just want money. You just want, your soul. Money is not everything. Money can't buy happiness. No, money can't buy happiness, but it certainly can remove a lot of the stresses so you can find happiness in other ways, right? And so I feel like for you, Capricorn, you have been really trying to put the intent out there to be able to start putting your roots into something, right? Maybe that's just, a living situation where it's like you can finally feel like you have a home. For others of you, Capricorn, maybe it's like putting your roots into like a business, right? Whatever the case is, your goal is to have that 10 of Pentacles where it's that complete stability. You are not lacking. Your cup runneth over, essentially, right? Your cup runneth over, as I say. And then I remember the Ace of Cups always represents that sense of a cup overflowing. All right. Your path is definitely leading you up to this choice of where you get to really drastically change your life here, Capricorn. And this new path seems to be presenting itself where it's like, if you're willing to put in the work, if you're willing to invest into something and take care of that plant, right? That 7 of Pentacles, right? When you plant those tomato seeds, if you're willing to put in the work of taking care of those tomato seeds, you will have a very beautiful harvest. All right, Capricorn. So that's where I feel like your path, this new path, is starting to look like for you. All right, in the coming days, if you take that path, because this is free will, of course, Capricorn. All right, what do you have to do though? All right, because we are easily able to identify the treasure chest at the end of this path, Capricorn. But what does this path look like for you? Right? What does this path look like? What are the trials and tribulations? Because as I'm sure you already know, Capricorn, this is not The Sims, darling, right? We can't skip to the good part. Right? So what is this path? What are we looking at here? Queen of Wands, naturally here, Capricorn, very naturally. I've noticed this card hasn't popped up too much for you recently as it used to, Capricorn. Whenever I see this Queen of Wands, this is what you need to do, essentially, right? You need to be willing to follow in your passion, right? The Queen of Wands, she's the only card in the court series for the Wands, right? The Knight, the King, what have you. They are all protected by the Salamander besides the Queen of Wands, representing that the Queen of Wands acknowledges that she's not immune to being burned. She's, she acknowledges that she could fall at any time, Capricorn, but she takes the risks anyways, right? She takes the risk anyways because she knows that it will pay off. Page of Wands coming in here with the Magician energy. So this new path is going to look like for you, Capricorn, it's going to be a test of like, how bad do you want it? right? How bad do you want that independence, Capricorn? How bad do you want, you say you want your own business, darling? Are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to take that risk there? All right, because that's what Spirit is sitting here and saying here. It's like, we can offer this new path to you, this opportunity, right? But you have to be willing to chase after it. You have to be willing, Capricorn, to be this Queen of Wands and be like, you know what? I want this Page of Wands. I want this to be mine. This is what I'm chasing after, right? That opportunity. So for many of you, you might be Capricorn saying, it's like, I want to write my story. I want to write a book. I want to, whatever it is that you want to do, darling, right? It's not my business. All right. Spirit is saying, it's like, we can have this happen for you, but you have to be the first one to take the risk with that. So when it comes to writing a book, the first thing I don't know too much about it, but it's like the first thing that comes to mind, Capricorn, when it comes to writing that book is, start writing and actually publishing your writing somewhere, right? You have this magician energy coming in for you, which is the one that is bringing forth the magician. In this artwork, it doesn't really represent it too much, but the magician is usually pointing one hand up above and one hand down below to the ground. So it's like bringing ideas that your soul's calling, the divine calling, the inspiration, and bringing it to the earth to create here, Capricorn. So essentially what I see with this here is like, enough of the daydreaming, Capricorn. You daydream of this perfect life for yourself, this business for yourself, this loving home life for yourself here. All right, Spirit saying is like, we see your daydreaming, we hear your prayers. How willing are you to put in the action? That's essentially the test for you here is Capricorn. It's just like, are you willing to put in the work and investing into it here? All right, you have to be willing to be that Queen of Wands and take that risk even when it doesn't seem initially promising. You have in the hand, the universe is your partner. Very, very fitting, by the way, Capricorn, with the magician, because that's essentially what the magician is seen as, is like being the connectivity of the divine and the universe with the physical realm. All right, the universe is your partner, Capricorn, and wanting to help you. And it may not feel like it initially, right? As a teenager, right, we don't ever understand our parents sometimes with what it is that they do, and if the intent is good anyways, sometimes it's not. You don't really understand your parents until after the fact. And so that's why I feel like your story is right now, Capricorn, is like, you feel a little bit lost because you don't know how a spirit is trying to help you. You don't know where that guidance needs to come from. You don't know what to do or where that next step forward needs to be, so that spirit is willing to help you. And all spirit is saying is like, darling, like, we will make sure you don't fall, but you have to leave the nest first. You have to be willing to take that risk. When it comes to spirituality, speaking from personal experience, I didn't know how it was going to look. I didn't know my story was going to look like this when I first took that risk and I quit my job and I became self-employed and self-sufficient. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how or anything. I just took that leap of faith because I felt divinely drawn to doing that. All right. Awakening genius coming in for you as well, Capricorn. Awakening genius. All right. You guys are definitely in this process of waking up, Capricorn, I feel. Even right now, I'm probably talking about like your spiritual practice and what have you. And some of you're probably just listening. You're like, Velca, I don't got a spiritual practice whatsoever, darling. All right. And that's fine. All right. But I'm willing to bet a year from now, this time next year, Capricorn, you're going to have your own little ritual. You're going to have your own little thing that you do to create, because I do see for you here, Capricorn, you're waking up. You're waking up. Because keep in mind, everyone's spirituality is very different, Capricorn, right? And so for me, it looks like connecting to different deities and, just having a connection and conversing with them being my mentor, right? For other people, spirituality is just a simple sense of like law of attraction, manifestation, right? And so I feel like in the coming days, you're going to wake up to your power, your connection to the divine, to the universe, to source, whatever it is, Capricorn. And once you are unapologetically able to own that new sense of self, that new sense of power, oh, darling, you are going to be going places here. Yes, this is the card that fell out. The Wheel of Fortune for you, Capricorn. That's how you get the Wheel of Fortune to start turning in your favor, darling. All right. You start taking action. You start taking risks here. All right. When you're feeling like you are stale, or you feel like you're walking on all these eggshells, because every step you make, you always feel like there's like, you wake up to another day of like another unpaid bill, another text message, or someone starting some mess with you, Capricorn, even though you haven't done anything besides mind your business to the umpteenth degree, right? This is how you have this change. You know, the future is never solid. That's something that you will hear any responsible tarot reader or spiritual person tell you, is the future is never solid, right? And so you are able to change your future. You are able to change your story. That's why I personally don't align with the Akashic Records concept. And that's not up for discussion, right? Everyone believes in what they want to believe in, but I don't subscribe to the Akashic Records because I believe we ultimately make the choice in what we want to experience in this lifetime. I believe that we are the writers of our own book. And I feel like you believe in that as well, Capricorn. There's nothing in this world that will, if you want to do something, there's no one and nothing in this world that will dissuade you from doing that, because for you, it's like you can't conceptualize the reality of where you're not able to do that. So it's like you could talk to the greatest psychic in the world, darling, and if they say, it's like, I don't see you being the first millionaire in your family, for you, Capricorn, you're going to respond to that and be like, oh, well, then you're not the psychic reader for me, because that's the reality. There's no other reality besides me being that, right? So that's how I see you as, Capricorn, but I could be wrong, darling, right? I don't have Capricorn in my chart, so maybe I don't know y'all at all, but at least that's what my suspicion is. So let's see, is there anything else that you need to hear today, Capricorn? Six of Pentacles, the Death card coming in here, with the Nine of Pentacles coming in. All right, Capricorn, if you are starting to notice that your job is becoming unstable, or something financially starting to like spook you out a little bit here, I do see stability coming in for you. All right, but I kind of see this energy to be in response to something, right? It's like you get out of a relationship, Capricorn, and in response to that, you start investing energy into having like an Etsy store, or it's like you end up losing your job, and instead of finding a new one or calling it quits and giving up, Capricorn, I see you like selling everything you own, renting a van, and living a different kind of lifestyle. So that's how I see this as for you, Capricorn. I feel like you respond to some type of change, and you respond to some type of change that happens in your life in a way where it's like you welcome in even more change, right? And I'm not saying this is going to be the case, but it's like, you know, when someone breaks up, and then typically this is known for gay people, you always know a gay's in crisis, honey, when they bleach their hair, and it's like the box bleach, honey. When you see a box bleached job on a gay, darling, you know they were going through a crisis, darling, right? And I don't know if that's the same for straight people, but you know how sometimes people will respond to that by doing something dramatic with their look, cutting their hair or something like that. I feel that energy with this, but I feel like it's to a greater level. It's not just to something with changing hair or something, but it could be something to that level too, you know. But I do see you responding to some type of change and responding to it in a drastic way, but not in a bad way. It feels like more independence. Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Whatever this is for you, Capricorn, whatever drastic change that you're personally feeling in your life, because that's like the energy that I feel like this is, Capricorn. It's like you want to kind of personally have like a tower moment happen in your life. I feel like having that tower moment is it works out greatly in your favor here. It works out greatly in your favor. The Knight of Wands coming in, as well as the Nine of Cups popping out for you, Capricorn. It definitely works out greatly in your favor here. I feel like September for you, Capricorn, this is not going to be a month, I feel, that's going to be very dramatic with like the blessings or anything like that, Capricorn. But I feel like you start really getting some affirming signs in the coming days of where it's like something inspires you to keep on going, right? So let me use social media as the example because this is the easiest one for me, right? If you lost your job and then you're just like, you know what, I'm going to focus on being self-employed now. I'm having my own business. You start working on your business, you start posting on social media, right? You may not have like millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views, but you'll start getting some views, you'll start getting some traction where it's like it inspires you as that Knight of Wands to keep on chasing after that Ace of Pentacles, because you feel that Nine of Cups energy where it's just like, ooh, it's starting to feel really good. If I keep chasing after what it is that I'm doing, it's going to be, that 9 cups is going to turn into 10 cups. Do you understand my thought process on this, Capricorn? That's how I see your journey as. So you replace like YouTube and all those details with whatever it's fitting for your life, right? I just go with that because that's all I do from it, you know. But and darling, I don't know if they caught on camera of me like shuffling and all that, but this is literally the card that fell out, Capricorn. Holy crap. Oh my God. What? I was just, oh my God, Capricorn. I'm going to just take that. We're going to just have a moment, Capricorn. All right. I love it when I'm good at my job. I hope that caught on camera so y'all know I wasn't just like pulling that just for the sake of pulling it. Like, please share with me in that moment, Capricorn, of like how crazy that actually is with considering what I was just saying. Wow. Okay, so let's get your quote in for the week here, Capricorn, and I'll send you off on your way. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe, Capricorn, if you haven't. It really does help me out a lot. And be sure to check out your monthly pick a card tarot reading that I have. It's top right corner. All right, your outer experiences are a reflection of your internal condition. All right, I'm going to read it again for you. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. All right. And so what I want you to spend this week doing, Capricorn, is just focusing in on how to make yourself feel as good as possible. So when you leave that nest as that Queen of Wands, you feel the most prepared as ever. The first example that comes to mind to me, Capricorn, is like, let's say, for example, you are wanting to start like a new diet, right? And sometimes people have like one farewell meal before they start their diet because they don't want to be craving anything, right? That's kind of how I feel like your story is. Do what you need to do so that way you are prepared for success, essentially. Make sure that you're good internally because that's the only way that you're going to be externally expressing anything of a high vibration. So I love you so much, Capricorn, and I'll connect to you later. Bye, darling.